India-US partnership has strengthened as they face mutual challenges and are collaborating on several areas. The year 2022 witnessed a number of high-level exchanges between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Joe Biden, both in person, such as in Quad Summit in Tokyo in May 2022, and on the sidelines of the G20 summit and virtually too. India also took part in the 2+2 ministerial meeting in Washington, D.C. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and Defense Minister Rajnath Singh met with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. There were other high-level exchanges too. Washington hosted the important 2+2 dialogue between the defense and foreign ministers of the two countries. The dialogue is a mechanism for strengthening bilateral relationship through greater integration of defense, security and intelligence apparatus. On the bilateral economic aspect, India and the US held ministerial level meeting of the India-United States Trade Policy Forum. Apart from enhancing bilateral economic relations, they agreed to work collaboratively and constructively in relevant multilateral trade bodies including the World Trade Organization, WTO, the G20 and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. Officials of the two governments have been meeting in person or virtually to take forward cooperation in key areas such as counter-terrorism, defense and the Indo-Pacific, and have helped shape the response to the situation in Afghanistan. On the sidelines of the Tokyo Quad Summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Biden welcomed the signing of the Investment Incentive Agreement, which enables the U.S. Development Finance Corporation to continue providing investment support in India in sectors of shared priority such as healthcare, renewable energy, SMEs, infrastructure, etc. The India-US Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies, ICET, to facilitate the outcome-oriented cooperation was launched, co-led by the National Security Council Secretariat in India and the US National Security Council. ICET would forge closer linkages between government, academia and industry of the two countries in areas such as AI, quantum computing, 5G, 6G, biotech, space and semiconductors. Noting that defense and security cooperation is a crucial pillar of the India-US bilateral agenda, both sides agreed to further strengthen collaboration. Prime Minister invited the US industry to partner with India to manufacture in India under the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat or Self-Reliant India programs, which can be of mutual benefit to both the countries. The leaders exchanged views on regional issues of mutual interest, including South Asia and in the Indo-Pacific region, reaffirming their shared vision for a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. Among the regional issues, China has emerged as a significant challenge for both nations. India and the US have bilateral relations with China that have elements of cooperation, competition and conflict. Nonetheless, shared concerns about the dramatic rise of China and its expanding economic, political and military engagements from Europe and Africa to Asia to the Pacific have led to a shift in the strategic realities in both New Delhi and Washington, D.C. The other issue of importance is the Indo-Pacific. The region is now a significant geopolitical strategic focal point, and India's own approach toward the Indo-Pacific is shaped by a new strategic environment coinciding with the rise of China, particularly in the Indian Ocean region and South Asia. India and the US have found increasing convergence on their strategies vis-à-vis the Indo-Pacific region. Within this ambit, India and the US have worked to increase cooperation with partners such as Japan and the ASEAN, as also among the Quad member states. The COVID-19 pandemic has necessitated a global cooperative approach to addressing the health crisis. India has supplied vaccines and medical equipment to nations across the world. As they continue to administer vaccines to their citizens, the two governments have pledged to lead the global efforts to end the pandemic. India is an important partner in the UN-led COVAX program as also the Quad initiative to fight the pandemic. India and the US, along with other partners, have launched an infrastructure development plan for the region that will provide technical assistance and other tools for sustainable infrastructure development. Climate change has emerged as an important area of cooperation between the two nations. The two sides launched a new high-level partnership, the US-India Climate and Clean Energy Agenda 2030 Partnership, which envisages bilateral cooperation on strong actions in the current decade to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement. In the coming years, the bilateral engagement between India and the US is expected to gain further traction.